morning, everyone, and good afternoon to people in other time zones. I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Executive Director for Humanities Team, and welcome to the Living in Oneness Summit. It's great to be with you today. I am doing our program today with a very special guest, Patricia Cota-Robles. Patricia is co-founder and president of the nonprofit educational organization New Age Study of Humanities Purpose, which sponsors the annual World Congress on Illumination. Patricia shares the divine intent is to give humanity greater clarity and understanding as we progress through these wondrous but extremely challenging times on Earth. Patricia is an internationally known teacher and has taught workshops on world peace globally. I know you're going to enjoy today's program. I'll be welcoming Patricia in just a few moments. We're all very excited about today's program. We have about 19,000 registered for today's call. Some cannot listen in live, so we send out a recorded link so these people can listen in later. Thank you so much, everyone, for prioritizing time to be here for this program. As always, this program is interactive with each of you, our listeners, so we want to invite you to put your questions in the question window on Instant Teleseminar. I promise we'll get to at least a few of your questions during the 90-minute program. Today is a 90-minute program, and in fact, we've reserved the last 30 minutes of this program just for questions and answers. So please do go ahead and begin sharing your questions and comments in the question window on Instant Teleseminar now. A little about Humanities Team as we get started. In Humanities Team we see there is only one presence, the divine, and see we are all offspring and expressions of the divine. This means God's love, light, grace, and peace are ours because there is no separation and we share the same essence. We don't share this as something just academic or intellectual. We believe everyone and everything is a beautiful and sacred face of the divine. Since our founding in 2003, we've done our best to live as one with the divine, each other, and our earth home. Of course, we don't need to be perfect. It doesn't have to feel heavy. Our invitation is only to do our best. When we talk about oneness with the divine, of course, this is true for all of life, not just humanity. And, of course, this has repercussions for how we see ourselves, others, and the earth that is our home. This means everyone and everything is sacred and should be treated as such. It also means we're responsible for the world around us because, in truth, it's part of our authentic self, encompassing the whole of the earth. Perhaps there's nothing more important than this, coming to see ourselves as a cell in the body of the divine, the earth, and stepping into a role where we're caring for the earth and the world that we live in. This is important and urgent work. We are advocating personal development that crosses over into all of our roles, including that of partner, parent, and public service, but also institutional change so we live as one collectively and create a fulfilling, compassionate, and sustainable world. If you resonate with our work, we invite you to go to humanitiesteam.org, our website, and reach out to us about projects you might like to become involved in. That's humanitiesteam.org, and we still are almost all volunteer. Okay, please get comfortable as we begin our program. I'm now going to welcome our special guest. Welcome to the Living in Oneness Summit, Patricia. It's great to have you with us.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's wonderful to be here. It's a powerful time, and I'm delighted to join with all these wonderful, wonderful light workers on the planet.
Yes, well, me too. It's always so great to have you with us and really looking forward to today's program. So as a reminder to everybody, Patricia's going to take about the first hour, the first 60 minutes to update us following her 30th Annual World Congress and all that has ensued since then, and then we're going to do this Q&A session for about 30 minutes. So, Patricia, shall we go ahead and begin?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
This is really a very powerful day. Live, it's September 29th, and I wanted you to know that everybody tuning in on the replay, in this frequency, we always work in the eternal moment of now. So no matter when you're listening to this program, these energies that are pouring in today are being expanded through the divinity in your heart flame. And in the outer world, through several different religious organizations and several spiritual groups, this day is celebrated as Archangel Michael's feast day. And Archangel Michael and his divine complement, Archei Faith, are magnificent beings of light that work with our Father, Mother God on the first ray of God's first cause of perfection. And this is the ray that reflects the masculine polarity of our Father God, and the full divine momentum of God's will. And, of course, working in perfect harmony with the divine feminine and our Mother God as well. Today, there are billions of people on the planet that are focusing on Archangel Michael, creating this magnificent chalice of light that is cradling the entire planet Earth. And Archangel Michael and Archei Faith are going to work with us throughout this sacred time that we're sharing today to expand the new patterns of God's will and God's first cause of perfection. Everything begins in the realms of cause. And one of the things that has recently happened, actually on the 29th anniversary of harmonic convergence, which took place in August of 1987, this year, during this momentous time of the 29th anniversary, August 15th, 16th, and 17th in 2016, there was an activity of light that coincided and that we expressed through the 30th Annual World Congress on Illumination. Our organization has had an activity of light on the anniversary of harmonic convergence since the first harmonic convergence in August of 1987. And what that event is that every year the beings of light, the entire company of heaven, evaluate the light that has been added to the world by every man, woman, and child on the planet for the entire year. And they determine how that light can be utilized to move humanity forward in the light and what is the greatest activity of light that can take place. This year, because of the miraculous shifts of vibration that have taken place since the birth of the new Earth, which was through the December solstice in the 21st and 22nd of December in 2012, we moved into a frequency through the shift of the ages that literally birthed the new Earth. And at that time, we were told that the next 3 years, the first 3 years of the new Earth, 2013, 14, and 15, there would be monumental shifts, and then we would move a quantum shift into 2016 that would lift us up into higher vibrations than the Earth has ever been able to experience. And as you know, if you're familiar with our work, there are myriad things that we've been participating with. But I want to reiterate and stress that this light and this information is coming through every single open door. Everyone that is in any way focusing on the light is part of this unfolding activity of light. And every single day, there are billions of people that in one way or another are invoking the light of God or a higher power into their light, into their life experience. And what is happening is that these prayers are always heard and that they are always answered. So even if it's just a single person praying to God to eliminate some of the pain and suffering of their life, they are adding to the collective light of the world and assisting to lift up every single person on the planet that's experiencing pain or suffering in their life. So I want to stress that even though we're talking about these incredible events that have taken place, there is no facet of the divine plan that is any more important than another. But there are monumental events that are taking place on this planet. So we were asked to have the 30th Annual World Congress on Illumination on an Alaskan cruise, because Alaska is the portal that allows the light directly from the causal body of God that contains all the patterns of perfection from the causal body of God to flow into the physical plane of Earth. And when we fell into such separation and duality, this portal became almost dormant because God was not going to allow these exquisite patterns of perfection to flow into the mental and emotional strata of Earth, and then through our fragmented fear-based human egos for us to take that pure energy and misqualify it into lack and limitation, separation and duality, war, poverty, and all of the negativity that we created through our lack of awareness after the fall. But because of the miracles of shift that have taken place since the birth of the new earth and the incredible acceleration of light that took place through various events, through the eclipses that took place during the March equinox, the vernal equinox on the planet, the activities of light that were greatly expanded through the summer solstice, the June solstice, of course it's the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, activities of light that took place through the opening of the Lion's Gate, which was 888, and then the opening of this portal. We were in a position to open the portal for the causal body of God to full breadth. And what took place during the World Congress, the 30th Annual World Congress, is that many light workers gathered from all over the world on this Alaskan cruise. And in addition to that, hundreds of thousands of light workers all over the world joined with us in consciousness, projecting their light into this portal of the Alaskan cruise. And several things took place. This took place during the Olympic Games, which created this outer world focus. Now, the Olympic Games are one of the most powerful events that take place on the planet because when we focus on something with a positive intent, it creates this chalice of light, and the company of heaven and awakened light workers can ask that that light be used for specific purposes to add to the light of the world. During the Olympic Games for 17 days, it is estimated that approximately 5.5 billion people on the planet, in one way or another, turn their attention to the Olympic Games, which empowers the divine intent, the thought form for the Olympic Games. And that thought form is the family of humanity setting aside their differences, coming together to reach their highest level of excellence. So that vision, that thought form, with 5.5 billion people, created this tremendous chalice of light around the planet. This light was gathered up, purified, and utilized for the events that were taking place during the 30th Annual World Congress. One of the most important things that took place is that Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, who are representatives of our Mother God, the Divine Feminine, who cradles our heart chakra, the divine love nature within us, the Holy Spirit, the essence of the Holy Spirit, Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene assisted the masses of humanity, the I Am presence of every man, woman, and child, to raise the frequency of vibration of the physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies to a frequency that would allow an unprecedented healing to take place within the hearts of every man, woman, and child. Now, this healing was necessary because the beings of light said that these new patterns that would be coming into the physical plane, that they described as patterns that were unfathomable to the conscious minds of even the most awakened people on the planet, that these patterns carried a frequency that could only reflect through the compassionate heart of awakened humanity. And when the event began, which was this August 13th through the 20th of 2016, the beings of light said that the masses of humanity, that there were many, many souls who were so buried in the painful experiences of their outer world life experience that they had not been able to raise the frequency of their bodies and their hearts to a level that could receive this compassionate love and this influx of the patterns of perfection for the new earth without causing harm. In other words, the vibration and frequency of this light that would be coming in through these new patterns was at a frequency, it would be like sending a lightning bolt through the heart, that would be too intense for the masses of humanity to be able to withstand without causing damage. So there was an unprecedented healing that took place. For several days, the frequency of vibration of the physical, etheric, mental, and emotional level of humanity's bodies was raised by the beings of light through this portal in Alaska. And the reason we were asked to do it on a cruise is to connect with the water element of the planet and humanity. The water element reflects the emotional body of the earth, which is the greatest expression within our bodies. 80% of our bodies are comprised of water. 80% of the earth is comprised of water. So the water element is the tool, the vehicle through which this healing of the heart, the emotional body, could take place. So there was an outer world event of the healing of the heart that took place. And as this occurred on August 17th, which was the 29th anniversary of harmonic convergence, and 29 numerically is an 11, you add the numbers together, and 11 is the master number that reflects the transformation of the physical into the divine. So during that day, a special healing took place on the physical level and also through the I Am presence, through the etheric level of every man, woman, and child. Now, the beings of light said there were millions and millions of awakened light workers whose hearts were prepared to receive this light. But this influx of light with these new patterns was not just to benefit awakened light workers. It was a gift from humanity and from the company of heaven, the I Am presence, for every single person on this planet. So we had reached a critical mass of light workers that was able to hold the sacred space for this healing within the physical hearts and the etheric hearts of the masses of humanity, which means that this healing took place, removing the blocks and allowing Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene to intensify the frequency of vibration of every person's heart through their I Am presence on an etheric level, to remove the blockages that humanity had created that had prevented us from giving and receiving love, our inability to love, the blockages that we had created with the fall eons ago, that because of our outer world pain and suffering, we had not been able to transmute in time for this influx of light. So this healing that took place on the 17th of August was a magnificent gift of divine grace beyond the comprehension of our finite minds. And this etheric healing raised the vibration of every person's heart to be able to withstand through the new compassionate heart this influx of patterns of perfection from the causal body of God, opening this portal to full breath. This healing was God victorious, and on that day, the portal for these new patterns of the new earth that the beings of light have said were beyond our ability to comprehend, to even fathom on a conscious level, was open to full breath. And on the cruise, this event took place as the ship was passing through Glacier Bay, this magnificent, exquisite expression of the water element and the glaciers in the outer world. And the event that allowed this, the ship actually went to one area, and this huge cruise ship took a 365-degree turn to allow everyone to experience all the wonders of this area of Glacier Bay. Then the ship moved forward a ways and made a 365-degree turn in the opposite direction, literally creating a figure 8, an infinity symbol in this area that opened the portal to full breath. When that occurred, our Father, Mother, God sent forth from the core of creation this magnificent violet flame that is the full divine manifestation of the violet flame of God's first cause of perfection, which is the perfect balance of our Father God's sapphire blue flame of divine will and power, and our Mother God's crystalline pink flame of divine love and reverence for life. This violet flame sun was lowered through the portal, through the water element, deep into the heart of Earth, and anchored in the heart of beloved Mother Earth, permanently opening this portal of light. Now these patterns are flowing into the physical plane. These patterns built in momentum until the final day of the 30th Annual World Congress on Illumination, which was August 19th. And through the final activity of light that took place, there was a divine ceremony anchoring these patterns through the mental and emotional strata. So they are now flowing in to the mental and emotional bodies of all humanity and will begin registering in our conscious minds. A wonderful outer world celebration that took place during that time was when those final activities of sealing this open portal to full breath took place. The captain of the ship, who didn't really know what was going on in our meditation groups, the captain of the ship announced that there were pods of whales encircling the ship. And he said they estimated that there were 150 whales circling the ship, and they said they had never seen anything like that. The beings of light confirmed these magnificent expressions of the elemental kingdom were absorbing the patterns that were being projected through the open portal and diving deep into the water elements. Whales can dive as deep as 6,000 feet, and then they were projecting these patterns into the violet sun to secure them in the physical plane. Now these patterns are available for each and every one of us. And what is happening for the remainder of this year is that we are being asked to activate the foundation of the new heaven and the new earth, which will be the foundation of these patterns as humanity tunes in on them and begins magnetizing them into the physical plane. And we will begin receiving them through our meditations, through our prayers, through our invocations, through intuitive inspiration, through new levels of awakening and oneness, these new ideas that we have not been able to even fathom are begin flowing into our conscious minds. The beings of light have said, that our purpose is to bring these patterns into manifestation, and we've been told that since the birth of the new earth. But what the beings of light have revealed is that even the most awakened light worker, the most powerful pattern that we have been able to tap into prior to this time for the new earth, are just the reversal of the miscreations of our fall from grace. In other words, when we envision heaven on earth, we envision it without poverty. We envision eternal peace. We envision vibrant health. We envision harmony and balance, the oneness of life, reverence for the elemental kingdom, the human kingdom, the angelic kingdom, and all of the realms of light. But that is just returning us to the Garden of Eden state that we had prior to the fall. These new patterns that are now flowing in are things that we have not been able to even fathom. And to even get a glimpse of it, for instance, when people go through the near-death experience and experience their loved ones in the heavenly realms, prior to the shift of the ages, which took place 3 years ago, when we went into those realms of the heavenly realms, it was the fifth dimension. Now that dimension has ascended into the sixth dimension, and we are experiencing the initial impulse of the fifth dimension. All creation in the shift of the ages moved forward up the spiral of evolution. But when we would experience our loved ones, they were always vibrantly healthy and in their prime. Whatever they needed, they manifested by magnetizing unformed primal light, creating their homes, their sustenance, whatever they needed. They would transport themselves with a thought from one part of the solar system to another, from one location to another. These are the new patterns that are flowing into the physical plane. These are the natural progression of our ascension process that we're going to be moving into. So what is happening now and what we're going to be working with today, empowered by the full divine momentum of God's first cause of perfection, amplified through the radiance of Archangel Michael and his divine complement, Archei Faith, and his legions of power and protection around the world, we're going to be creating the foundation for the birth of 2016 and the new patterns that are going to begin gradually manifesting as awakened humanity brings them into physical plane through our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. Now that foundation reflects the divine matrix of our Father, Mother, God. The matrix of our Father, Mother, God is the body of our omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent Father, Mother, God, the cosmic I Am, all that is. And everything that exists in the whole of creation lives, moves, breathes, and has its being within this divine matrix. The oneness of life that we discussed through humanity's team and that Steve just shared as the archetype for this movement and this activity of light is the oneness of life. Now that means every particle and wave of life throughout the whole of creation. And because of this oneness of life, every thought, word, action, feeling, memory, or belief that we express or that we have expressed through any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown, whatever it is we are sending forth is either adding to the light of the world or adding to the shadows, depending on what we have qualified it with our frame of mind and our feelings and our free will at any given moment. The foundation of our Father, Mother, God's divine matrix is transfiguring divine love. It is the most powerful frequency of love in all creation. And every single thing in all creation emanates from this foundation of transfiguring divine love. We hear the expression that God is love and love is all there is. This is not a lofty platitude or religious rhetoric. This is a profound truth. Everything that exists from this foundation of love, whether it's illumination, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's humanity, whether it's the elemental kingdom, whether it's the angelic kingdom, everything in all creation began from this foundation of transfiguring divine love. This is what we are now being asked to greatly expand as we move in to 2017. And we're going to greatly expand it today, and every time this replay is done, we will amplify these energies. I want to share with you some really important and timely energy because it's so obvious. I know when we talk about these miracles taking place and then we turn on the news, it looks like we are delusional and that we've just put our head in the sand and are acting like the reality of the world doesn't exist. What we need to understand is that everything begins in the realms of cause, and then it filters through our multidimensional realities into the physical world of form, which is the world of effects. Now, the physical plane of Earth that we think of as being so real is the least real of all of the dimensions that we abide in. And it is the very last dimension to reflect the changes that are taking place. The light of God is flowing into the physical plane through every open heart flame, and everything that conflicts with that is being pushed to the surface. So what we are seeing in the outer world is the negativity from our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings from all time frames and dimensions being pushed to the surface. These are things that we either deliberately or inadvertently created through the misuse of our creative faculties of thought and feeling and our free will. Anything that reflects anything less than heaven on earth is a human miscreation and has nothing to do with God. It is what we have created as sons and daughters of God through our free will choices and our creative faculties of thought and feeling. This is the time biblically that was referred to as the time of screaming and gnashing of teeth, because we see the negativity being pushed to the surface very easily. What we don't see is the incredible light that's pushing to the surface. So what is happening is that the masses of humanity that haven't been able to really perceive the bigger picture, that don't realize what's really happening, have connected with this energy and are amplifying it through their thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. So what I want to really stress with you today as we prepare to bring in the highest frequencies of transfiguring divine love that the earth and humanity have ever known is this consciousness of separation and duality that is surfacing to be healed, and what our responsibility is as sons and daughters of God, as awakened light worker, to move the masses through this, through the collective consciousness of our thoughts and feelings. So first we need to understand that the most amazing assistance ever given to humanity in this physical plane is the flame of transfiguring divine love. And for eons of time, this flame was dormant because of just what I mentioned. We would have misqualified it into the gross mutations of pain and suffering on the planet. This miraculous gift from God is the most powerful frequency of divine love in all creation. It is an unfathomable love that has been relatively dormant, as I said, since the beginning of time, because humanity was not vibrating at a frequency that could utilize it in its full power. For billions of years, this unparalleled divine love had been held within the heart of our godparents, awaiting the moment when it could be activated by the collective invocation and heart call of the sons and daughters of God throughout infinity. The initial impulse of this sacred fire was able to be anchored within the heart flame of every man, woman, and child on earth through miracles that had taken place since harmonic convergence on August 17th in 2001. Now it is time for this gift that has been pulsating in its infancy in humanity's heart flames to be expanded to its new level of divine potential. And that's what we're going to do today, and that's how we're going to work with this energy to prepare us for the new expansion of the unfathomable patterns of perfection for the new earth that are now flowing through the newly opened portal of God's first cause of perfection and humanity's newly healed, compassionate heart flames. This sacred flame is a deep rose color with an aquamarine radiance of clarity, and within the center of the flame is a resplendent, opalescent sun of transfiguration. This magnificent gift from our Father, Mother, God contains within its frequencies transfiguring patterns of divine love beyond anything we have ever known or even dared to dream about. When it is anchored within one's heart flame, this love sends forth a beacon of light that magnetizes unto itself the full spectrum of divine light that is pulsating in the causal body of God. Now, this has been happening since August of 2001, in its infancy, gently bringing this energy into our heart flames. But now, the masses of humanity, meaning every single man, woman, and child belonging to or serving the earth at this time, whether he or she is in or out of embodiment, through their I Am presence and the etheric level of healing, their compassionate heart has been raised to a frequency by their I Am presence that can withstand this new energy that's flowing into the physical plane and its full divine potential. This transfiguring divine love is now permeating every cell, organ, gland, muscle, electron, atom, and subatomic particle and wave of our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. And through this, an environment has been created in which our I Am presence has been able to quicken and exalt us to take us to a new, higher level, a higher order of being. As this is occurring, our earthly bodies are being transfigured into the limitless physical perfection of our fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light bodies. This is happening within each of us individually and all of us collectively. Moment by moment, we are each being raised in vibration, the maximum that we can withstand in every single 24-hour period. This is an individual process that is taking place within each of us, according to our ability to assimilate and integrate this unprecedented frequency of divine light. Now, encoded within the frequencies of transfiguring divine love is a divine intelligence, and this is important for us to understand, because this divine intelligence is capable of discerning and revealing to each of us the experiences, the beliefs, the attitudes, fears, thoughts, words, actions, and feelings that we are utilizing still through our etheric records to support belief systems that are not based in truth, that do not reflect our oneness of life, that do not reflect our divine plan, which is God's infinite abundance, eternal peace, divine oneness, vibrant health, and the full divine momentum of heaven on earth. This divine intelligence is exposing within us now the illusion of our separation from God and any beliefs or actions that we are still reflecting that indicate separation, duality, hatred, prejudice, us against them, anything that reflects a lack of reverence for all life and the oneness that is our true reality. As the clarity of this flame of transfiguring divine love enters our conscious minds, each and every one of us will begin to truly know that every human being is divine, regardless of how far his or her behavior patterns at this time and their life experiences may be from reflecting that truth. Look at what's going on in the outer world and know what a difference this is going to make. What is happening now, for instance, through the political system in the United States, through all governments, through religious fanaticism, and everything that is causing pain or suffering in any form on this planet, is the antithesis of what the flame of transfiguring divine love will reveal to us. This is a vitally important realization in this healing and ascension process that we are all going through. Our thoughts and feelings are creative, and whatever we focus our attention on, we empower and we bring into form. If we are constantly thinking and talking about all the negative patterns that people are participating in, and the things that are being pushed to the surface, or the things that we don't like about the people themselves, we are simply adding our energy and power to the very things that are wreaking havoc on this planet. This is true whether we are talking about our loved ones, our friends and our coworkers, our associates, or our acquaintances, or our governmental officials and our world leaders. Actually, the more powerful and influential a person is, the more critical it is for us to empower their divine potential instead of the mistakes that they are making. We can empower and energize every soul's divine potential by simply focusing our attention on the divinity of their I Am presence that is pulsating in their heart, and asking their I Am presence to take control of their thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. We can empower and energize people's divine potential by focusing our attention on the divinity that is pulsating and expanding through their heart flame to control all the facets of their life in every aspect, and ask that their I Am presence guide them to respond and behave in ways that only reflect the highest good for all concerned. We can empower people's divine potential even further by asking their I Am presence to expand the divine intelligence within this flame of transfiguring divine love, which is now anchored in every heart flame, and this sacred and holy day is greatly expanding exponentially for every person on the planet. This expansion is going to accelerate the process of exposing people's erroneous belief systems, and it will enhance their ability to remember that they are one with all life. I know that this may seem like a very simple anecdote for the atrocities that people are inflicting on each other throughout the world, but it is one of the most powerful things we can do to hasten humanity's awakening and their transfiguration. Every person's I Am presence is powerful beyond their knowing, and when we invoke that divine intervention, it gives their I Am presence permission to act in their lives in monumental ways. Many people are so buried in the effluvia of their negative belief systems that they cannot even raise their heads above the chaos and confusion in their lives effectively enough to realize that they have an I am presence. These people have no concept of what the oneness of life is, and they truly believe that whatever they need to do to survive is appropriate. They think that they have to lie, steal, cheat, and kill for their survival. Those of us who have awakened from that nightmare and remember that we are all one have an incredible responsibility to be our brothers and sisters' keepers at this time until they can awaken and get their heads above the mud puddle of their painful life experiences enough to remember their I am presence and to awaken that divine truth of oneness within themselves. This does not mean that we are to just passively wait and watch for their awakening. It means that we are to actively be the instruments of God that we have volunteered to be. This is why we are here. Those of you who are listening to these words have been prepared to assist in this divine mission of helping unawakened humanity for this next shift of consciousness that is going to unfold in 2017. If that were not the case, your I am presence would not have drawn you to this broadcast at this moment. And your sphere of awareness would not be resonating with this profound truth. This is a wondrous opportunity for you today, joining with Archangel Michael and Archie Faith and the thousands of souls joining us in consciousness for this broadcast, and the legions of light throughout infinity who are joining with us as well. And the universe is joyously supporting your every effort in this essential endeavor. To begin the process, we need to open our hearts to every evolving soul on this planet. And I know that's not easy when we observe some of the terrible things people are doing to each other and to other life forms on the planet. But it is a necessary, critical step in becoming an instrument of God, because we are one and there is no separation. The most powerful awakening force in the universe is the power of God's transfiguring divine love flowing through your sacred heart flame into the heart flame of every other human being on this planet. We never know what set of circumstances have compelled people to choose the negative paths that they have chosen, or what causes them to make the self-destructive decisions they make. But in order to shift our feelings from anger and disappointment to love and compassion, we need to step back and contemplate the bigger picture. First of all, we need to remember that everyone is doing the best they can according to their wisdom and their understanding and their belief systems. This is true regardless of whether or not we think they should know better, or whether it's even obvious to everyone else in the world that what the person is doing is wrong. If the person themselves fully understood the principle of the oneness of all life and the ramifications of their negative actions in the face of that fundamental truth, they would not behave in the negative manner in which they are behaving. It is just that simple. When we grasp the truth that everyone is doing the best they can, our thinking changes. We no longer look at people as bad or evil. All evil is the absence of love. Rather, we will look at them and we will be aware that they are like an unaware child who is unable to comprehend the result of their behavior. Sometimes children do terrible things without any idea of what the end result of their actions will be. But instead of hating them or wishing them harm, we embrace them and we strive to teach them a better way through love, compassion, and patience. Just for a moment, imagine that the person that you perceive to be the most degenerate, evil person on the planet is someone that you love. What if it is your child or your husband or wife or your parent? You understand that they've done horrible things, but in your heart of hearts you know that in spite of their appalling behavior, there is a person inside whom you love, a person whom you know is capable of better things. And you believe with every fiber of your being that this person will one day awaken and choose to be the person you know they are destined to be. So you never give up hope, and you never keep holding the vision for their divine potential. You continually invoke their I Am presence, and you pray that they will wake up and choose to turn their life around so that they can fulfill their divine plan. Now know that the feeling of compassion and hope that you would have for that loved one in that situation is the same feeling you need to awaken within your heart for every single human being, regardless of what their outer world behavior is reflecting. After all, we truly are one family. We are sisters and brothers in every sense of the word. Through the love, compassion, and dedicated invocation of awakened light workers, now the flame of transfiguring divine love will soften the hearts and enlighten the minds in new and profound ways of the recalcitrant souls who have so tenaciously resisted moving forward in the light. These precious ones are gradually raising their heads above the negativity, and one by one they are awakening, and they are reclaiming the path of existence that will inspire them to fulfill the mission that they have volunteered to co-create on this planet, which is manifesting heaven on earth. So know that as this new flame of transfiguring divine love that will be greatly expanded over anything the earth has ever known bathes the hearts and minds of humanity, more and more people will awaken and will remember who they are and why they are here. This transfiguring process is going to be greatly expanded, exponentially, throughout 2017. And this sacred and holy day, we are going to anchor this light to create the foundation for this awakening. This transfiguring process is opening the door for the light of God to increase on this planet in ways unprecedented through all creation. When people awaken and their consciousness is raised up, they begin to see with new eyes and hear with new ears. This phenomenon has the effect of allowing people to clearly perceive the divine truth that all life is interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent. Then people know that there is no such thing as us and them, that we are all one. Imagine the shift that will take place just through what is happening on the earth now, when that truth is resonating as a reality and inner knowing in every heart flame. Since unawakened humanity at this time cannot easily grasp the concept of this oneness of all life, it is up to awakened light workers to heal this polarization. This means you and me and every other awakening soul on this planet. This is our purpose and our reason for being, an embodiment at this time. And we already have everything we need within us to accomplish this mighty feat. What affects one part of life affects all life. In other words, as I am lifted up in consciousness, all life is lifted up with me. So instead of polarizing against everything that we disagree with, we need to co-create a new reality, a reality that reflects our oneness and makes the concept of separation and duality obsolete. We have the opportunity now, on this sacred and holy day, to assist in this endeavor, and then we can expand it daily and hourly as we take the power of our attention away from the illusion of separation and focus on the multidimensional, multifaceted visions of heaven on earth. When we observe something in our life or in our world that does not reflect reverence or the oneness of life, we have the ability in that moment to invoke the flame of transfiguring divine love and project it into that situation. This sacred fire will transfigure all aspects of the problem. Then we can visualize the violet flame through the situation and transmute the negative thought patterns and the archetypes that created the problem in the first place and replace them with the patterns of the new heaven and the new earth that are now flowing through the newly opened portal of God's first cause of perfection. This is our moment. We have literally come to save the earth, and now our time is at hand. I would like for you to join me during this cosmic moment, and together on this very powerful day, we will greatly empower the flame of transfiguring divine love through every single person's heart flame, forming the foundation for the birth of 2017 and the patterns of perfection for the new earth, unfathomable to our conscious minds, to be reflected on this new foundation of transfiguring divine love. So if you will join me now, sitting comfortably in your chair with your arms and legs uncrossed and your spine as straight as possible, let's breathe in deeply, going within to the divinity of my heart, and each of us to our own heart flame, gently closing your eyes, and follow me through this visualization with the full power of your attention and your divine intentions. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one voice, one breath, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration, and consciousness of pure divine love, we invoke the most intensified frequencies of God's fifth dimensional flame of transfiguring divine love that cosmic law will allow. Through this divine sacred fire, blazing in every heart, we now invoke the legions of light throughout infinity, and beloved Archangel Michael and his full divine momentum of the legions of power and protection to come forth now. Beloved Father, Mother God, beloved Archangel Michael, and the beings of light throughout infinity, we ask that you now expand the flame of transfiguring divine love from the very core of creation that is pulsating within the divinity of every person's heart, and create from this sacred fire a heart of pure divine love. Allow this heart of transfiguring divine love to now expand and expand until it envelops the entire planet Earth. Now the sons and daughters of God from every ascended level of being project their love into the divine matrix of our omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent Father, Mother God, the cosmic I Am, all that is. This is the body of God within which every particle of life throughout the whole of creation lives, moves, breathes, and has its being. At long last, humanity's compassionate heart is now vibrating at a frequency of love that is capable of withstanding new and unfathomable frequencies of transfiguring divine love. Through the I Am presence now, the collective affirmation to anchor this light reverberates through the mental and emotional strata of Earth. As each I Am presence affirms, I am the cup, the Holy Grail, through which this unprecedented frequency of God's transfiguring divine love now blesses every particle of life evolving on this precious planet and is securely anchored within every person's newly healed, compassionate heart. I am my I Am presence, and I invoke my Father, Mother, God to secure through all levels of consciousness this sacred fire for this greatly expanded activity of light. This unprecedented influx of divine love is lifting every atomic and subatomic particle of wave and life of Earth into a higher order of being. As we breathe this light in, it flows through our heart flame into the heart flame of every other man, woman, and child belonging to or serving the earth at this time, whether he or she is in or out of embodiment. As this light flows from heart flame to heart flame, we are creating a grid of divine love that is extending from the very depths of humanity's pain and suffering into the highest fifth-dimensional frequencies of God's first cause of perfection. This grid of divine love is forming a bridge of freedom to bless this planet and all her life, reclaiming all life back into the path of divine love, which is the way, the truth, and the life for all humanity. The I Am presence within every person now takes their full divine potential to be the open door. Through this activity of light, humanity is being raised into a profound awakening of supreme love consciousness. We are here and now becoming the masters of love we were always destined to be. We are beings of love, accepting responsibility for loving this sweet earth and all her life free. We are one with this blessed planet, and the planet is one with us. This gift of transfiguring divine love is now greatly enhancing our ability to co-create the patterns of perfection that are flowing forth from the newly opened portal, causal body of God, into the physical world of form. And as these patterns flow through the new level of divine intelligence in every person's heart, an inner knowing is revealed as we affirm, I am all love. And every person responds, O Supreme Presence of God within all life, into your eternal heart of love do I immerse myself and all life on this sweet earth, here and now. I consciously surrender my vehicles to be merged with the love nature of your being until I am a pure focus of transfiguring divine love, a living jewel in your crown of adoration. From this moment forth, the path I walk in life leads only to love. My physical body filled with love becomes shining and invincible. My etheric vehicle radiating love transmutes the past. Love in my mind ensures the expression of your divine thoughts. Love in my feelings reaffirms that God is the only power acting. As I am thinking, feeling, and remembering only love, I know that my I Am presence is working through me, radiating forth the perfection of my omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent Father, Mother, God, all that is, to humanity and all life, which I have promised to love free. In this awakened state of consciousness, divine love is radiating forth, and I become my Holy Spirit. And I am the love of God reaching out now to claim this earth. In love, I magnetize all of God's blessings to me, and in love, I radiate these blessings forth to all life around me. I am the spirit of transfiguring divine love, now permeating form until all is drawn back into the indivisible wholeness of our oneness and reverence for life. I feel the pulse beat of love in all life and the continuity of love in all of the experiences I have ever known. It is all love. I was born out of love. I am evolving through love, and I am ascending back into love. I am all love, and I am grateful. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. And so it is.
Well, let's just breathe into that here for a moment. Let's just take a few seconds to really absorb all of the powerful and beautiful and heartfelt messages, this prayer that you just shared, Patricia. Oof. Wow, I feel that in such a impactful and powerful way, and I'm guessing I'm speaking for listeners. There are many messages coming in. I'll just read a few, but before I do it, let me again, wow, Patricia, just thank you so much. That was the clarity and the power of these messages, this vision of an awakening earth, and this whole description of things that are being surfaced for healing, even as this miraculous divine light healing is occurring here on the earth. It just really set such a beautiful context for all of the good that is happening, even as we see in the media these, as you mentioned, this gnashing of teeth, which is the surfacing of all of these things for healing that are in need of healing at this time on the earth. And then to end it this way with this just beautiful prayer that invites us to be the love of God embodied, expressed. Really, just so amazing and so powerful. Thank you, Patricia. I'll certainly thank you some more before this program is over. We're now moving into this question and answer phase, and let me just share a few things here from Sharon in Green Mountain Falls. Says, the truth spills from your lips. Thank you so much for sharing this truth in such a beautiful way. My heart sings with the truth. Thank you. And then this from Judith Stevens in Southbury says, thank you, both Patricia and Humanities team, so much for your continual huge contribution of the awakening, aliveness, health, peace, and freedom for all beings and the planet, sending love and gratitude, and many other comments like this. Thank you, listeners, for just sharing your gratitude in such beautiful ways. There are a bunch of questions here. This is one from Joan in San Diego, Patricia. It says, for Patricia, please, are the messages that are coming from Mother Mary in Majorque, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, MEDJUGORJIE, accurate? Is she really speaking through the people there? The messages seem to be frantic about conversion to Catholicism or else. I would love your clarification. It would seem so much to me to hear the true message. Sincere thanks.
Well, Mother Mary is, and all of the beings of light are these magnificent beings of light that are coming through every conceivable open door. And no one has to make a pilgrimage unless you just want to go to that sacred site to fill your heart up. But no one has to go there to be in the presence of Mother Mary. All we have to do is ask our I Am Presence to invoke the radiance through our I Am Presence, and Mother Mary is with us instantaneously. This is a time when there's all kinds of things that are being tapped into. A lot of it is etheric records that of past information, even things like Revelations, when it talks about the new heaven and the new earth and the old earth passing away. That message that you're mentioning is part of that level of consciousness where there is a desperation for people to move into the light or you're going to be left behind. Because of miracles that took place since the expansion for past centuries, actually, but since the expansion specifically of harmonic convergence in August of 1987, actually the new earth, the two earths became one, and on December 21st and 22nd in 2012, all humanity, every man, woman, and child, through their I Am Presence, made the conscious choice to move into the light. No one was left behind. So that is an obsolete belief system. What is coming forth from the heavenly realms, anything that is in any way empowering a fear or vibration, is someone tapping in to an obsolete etheric record and memory, often very sincerely through their heart, but also through their belief systems. This is why it's so vital that we connect with our I Am Presence in our company of heaven directly, because no matter how much we trust someone, no matter how much we love the message or resonate with the information they're receiving, it is still being filtered through their consciousness, which doesn't always reflect exactly what we're supposed to learn from that information. So blessing everyone, holding everyone in the light, asking everyone's I Am Presence to help them reach the highest level of divine truth can help us shift some of that. But what we need to do is take it in our heart, see how it resonates for us, let anything that go. But at this moment, if it's perpetuating fear, if it's perpetuating desperation, if it's perpetuating joining any particular outer world orthodox religion, it is not coming from the highest realms of truth.
Thank you, Patricia. That really feels good. Okay, this next question is from Judith in Southbury, and Judith says, blessings to you and the light workers who have been following Archangel Michael. My question is, can we in 40 days send our energy and light to the political situation so that the best and greatest we know exists will result in the election of a president who can assist us in forming this positive oneness?
Absolutely. That's what we need to do. There is a divine plan unfolding, even though it's very difficult for us to perceive it at this time. We never know exactly what it is because it's all subject to humanity's consciousness and our free will behavior at the time. But there is a higher divine plan unfolding. At this moment, this is a critical stage in the evolution of this planet. And whoever gets elected to the presidency of the United States for these next 4 years, it's going to be vitally important on how the United States of America is reflected to the world. We've talked about that before, and we'll be talking about that again before the elections, of bringing forth this consciousness of divine government. Divine government is a government of the I Am Presence, by the I Am Presence, for the I Am Presence. And the United States of America is not just a country. It is an idea that was to model the archetype of the macrocosm of the microcosm. America is an anagram for the I Am race, and it was to model all races, all religions, all cultures, all nationalities, all lifestyles, all socioeconomic, the family of humanity coming together in oneness, fulfilling all of the things that our sacred documents reflect. Now, of course, we've fallen far from that, but it doesn't change the fact, just like the earth fell, that we are going to return to that divine potential. And whoever gets elected this time is going to be critical in that. So what we need to do is invoke the I Am Presence of everybody that's involved in this political system, everybody running for any office at national, state, and local level, that's involved with the campaigns, that's involved in the electorate and the voting. Invoke their I Am Presence to take dominion of their lives and to guide them unerringly as they make their choices and their decision. And we can do the same thing with the I Am Presence. Just like this invocation that we've done, we invoked the I Am Presence of every single person running for office, every single person involved. What they are reflecting at this time is the antithesis of transfiguring divine love, the separation, their duality, the us against them, the fear-based consciousness, the exacerbation of war, of religious fanaticism, of discrimination. All of that is coming up to be healed. So who gets elected in these next 4 years is going to be a vital part of shifting this consciousness. So listen to your heart, get actively involved, respond to whatever that inner guidance is, but make the calls for the I Am Presence of everyone at national, state, and local levels, and on a global level as well, because this certainly is infecting the entire globe. Excuse me. To invoke the I Am Presence of everyone involved in any way to take dominion and guide them in alignment with the new patterns for the unfolding divine plan of oneness and reverence for life.
Wonderful. Well, that's a powerful call to action to all be spiritual activists and to become involved in just extending, radiating this loving energy to this whole political situation, these candidates, and as you mentioned, Patricia, even going out and helping candidates become elected that can support this whole divine unfolding. So beautiful. And there's so many wonderful comments coming in. Thank you, listeners. This is from, let's see, from Cecilia. It says, tears of joy for this moment of love and gratitude for all life. And then this from Donald, oh my heavens, this is wonderful. I'd appreciate it if you could make this available as an MP3. And Donald, we will be sending out a thank you note to all of the almost 19,000 that are registered for this call. You'll see the thank you note go out in the next 24 hours, and there's a link that to the recording that you can play back. That's good for 48 hours. So I know a lot of people want to listen to this again. I'm sure in my own home we will. So you'll see that thank you note go out here shortly. Here's a question from Asha, and gosh, I'm guessing there may be a lot of people that feel this way. Asha says, despite all these meditations, knowings, and deep, profound feelings of love, I still feel anxiety and panic intensely at times, quite overwhelming. Why is that? Is that normal, love and gratitude to you?
Yes, it is very normal because, as you can see what's happening in the outer world, the motivation of this fear-based consciousness that's trying to keep us stuck in the old archetypes of separation and duality, their motivating factor is fear and anxiety. And the reality is that we have transcended. This is why it's so important that we see the bigger picture of what's really happening, because from outer appearances, of course, it's very difficult. In my work, for the past 50 years, the beings of light have asked me to document these incredible activities of light that we're talking about, because they said there will be a moment when things are so difficult in the outer world, it will be very hard for even awakened light workers to really comprehend the magnitude of the wonderful shift of consciousness that's taking place. This is a unique experiment. Never has a planet that's fallen this far into negativity been given the opportunity to move forward this quickly in the light. So we all have fears. We've been through lots of things of failure consciousness in the past and biting off more than we can chew. So we have this fear, but it is a residue of the old earth that is an obsolete belief system that no longer is applicable to our lives. We have God victoriously ascended into the initial impulse of the new earth, and we are in this new frequency of the fifth dimension. So we need to just keep saying to ourselves, fear, you have no power. I project my I am presence through you to transmute you back into light, and I am transfiguring divine love. I am the oneness of all life. And keep affirming and invoking what you want to empower and manifest in your life. We are succeeding beyond the greatest expectations of heaven. That is the information that's coming from the company of heaven, that it was a potential that the two earths would not become one. It was a potential that there would be billions of souls left behind in the shift of the ages, as the prophecies indicated. But what the beings of light want us to know is a fulfilled prophecy that shows a potentially negative outcome, such as Revelations and others do, for billions of souls, that they would be left behind. A fulfilled negative prophecy is only divinely inspired to show us what the potential will be at our present course of direction and to inspire us to change our course of direction. A fulfilled negative prophecy is a failed prophecy. We succeeded beyond the greatest expectations of heaven. We reached a critical mass, and through that critical mass, which creates an unstoppable shift, the I am presence of every single evolving soul on this planet made the heart commitment to move into the new earth and voluntarily agreed to transmute their karmic liabilities and their misqualified energy as we're in this process so that we can together co-create the new earth. So we are succeeding. That's what we have to remember. So when that stuff comes up, just say to yourself, this is an obsolete memory. This is not a reality. This is an illusion. We are past that potential. Nobody is going to be left behind. We've already moved into the light. The only variable is how long it's going to take us to transmute this negativity, but that is going to happen because it has already happened in the realms of cause. So just focus on the light, transmute with the violet flame this negative feeling of anxiety and fear, command it into the light through your I am presence, tell it that it has no power, and transmute it with the violet flame.
Beautiful. Gosh, and this 90 minutes has gone fast. I've got in about 2 minutes I need to just share some upcoming programs. But in the next 2 minutes, Patricia, could you share, just there's so much that you've covered, and it's such a hopeful message and it's a true message. What are things you'd recommend to listeners as for the balance of 2016 as we go into 2017 maybe speaking to their daily spiritual practice, speaking to the way that we prayerfully hold the world. Just final comments around things you'd like to invite us all to do for the balance of this year and going into next year as this earth is healing. And also if you could share your website just for people that maybe are not presently following your work.
Sure. Our website is eraofpeace.org, and there's lots of things on there that are offered for free and will help in this process as we're moving toward 2017. The most important thing, we talk about the oneness, but to recognize the magnitude of what that means. When we say, I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity, what I invoke for myself, I invoke for all life on this planet in alignment with their divine plan and their highest good. We invoke the light, the equivalent that would flow through 7.5 billion souls on this planet. It isn't just our ray of light that we dilute into 7.5 billion people. Each I am presence receives the full potential of light that we are receiving. You can imagine through your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings, your invocation, when you stay in that consciousness of oneness, invoking the light for every single person, the powerful transformation that can occur within your life and on the planet through the efforts of your individualized presence. And the beings of light have been granted permission to amplify those efforts of every single one of us 1,000 times, 1,000-fold. So you are powerful beyond your knowing, and it's time to act out of that awareness.
Awesome. What a great invitation. Thank you, Patricia. And one of the listeners shares it would be fantastic to have Patricia back for a New Year's call, the first week of January, for talk about the year to come. And, gosh, I think I'll reach out to your assistant, Linda, to see if that might be possible. That'd be wonderful. It's always so great to have you with us, Patricia. Wow, just the most amazing call. There are, all of these. Thank you beyond words. There's so many messages here. I'll share them with you in an email after the call, Patricia. Thank you so much. I know all that I am feeling into the incredible wisdom and heart energy and healing that's occurring even during this call. And certainly these comments coming in reflect that. So thank you so much. I'm going to thank you again before we close the call. But let me share some upcoming programs that people won't want to miss. Be sure to join us next week on Thursday, October 6th. We have a very special program with Steve Behrman, who goes by Swami Beyond Ananda. That call will start at 9 o'clock Pacific time. He's on a tour crossing the country, and will tell you about his travels and stops along the way. It's called the Going Sane Tour. I know you'll enjoy that. And I know Steve is a friend of yours also, Patricia.
Yes, he sure is.
He's wonderful. To see all of our upcoming programs here for the Living in Oneness Summit, you can go to livinginone.com. You'll see upcoming speakers. All of our programs are free, and if you miss any of the programs, we do send out a link for 48 hours free listening following each call. Also, Global Oneness Day is just around the corner. We call it our Earth Day for an Awakened Humanity. It's always on October 24th this year. That's a Monday. If you please put that on your calendar. Patricia is on the panel that's called Spirituality, Process of Going Within. And that panel is at 1:30 Pacific time on Monday, October 24th. It's an incredible panel. Matt Kahn and Kenji Kimura join Patricia on that panel. I know you'll love it. Deepak Chopra is our honorary chairman for Global Oneness Day this year, and he has a 30-minute program. Many other incredible people, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Barbara Marks Hubbard, Neil Donald Walsh, and many others. So go to globalonenesssummit.org. That's globalonenesssummit.org, or just Google Global Oneness Day to find that site. You can read all about the program. It's free, and also a link goes out for 48-hour free listening after that program. I want to thank you again here, Patricia, and for this amazing 90-minute call. Really been extraordinary. I also want to thank my colleagues and partners here, Nanette Kennedy and Dee Meyer, who create this program. They're running the back end, bringing in comments and questions. Thank you to you, to my partners And last, definitely not least, thank you to all of you, the listeners around the world. We've got people that have been bringing in comments and questions from all over the world. Thank you for making it a priority to be here with us today for this really important program. Gratitude to each of you, dear friends. And in closing, I want to invite everyone on this call to really live as one with the divine in each other, as we know this is ultimate reality, and this is one of the best ways to spread the invitation of oneness, and it's how we'll create this world that we've all dreamed about and envisioned, as we know we already are all one. So let's embody it and express it in the beautiful ways that Patricia described. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next Thursday, October 6th at 9 o'clock Pacific time when we begin our program with Steve Behrman, Swami Beyondananda. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Thanks again, Patricia.
Well, it's my honor. Thank you, Steve.
Fabulous. Okay. See everybody soon. Take care. Bye-bye.